Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name's Kimberly, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this really sweet springtimey daisy granny blanket. I call it my Daisy Meadows blanket. I wanted something really fun and simple and very reminiscent of spring to get rid of all that gloominess that we've been having here lately and just get us ready for the upcoming beautiful weather that we're so looking forward to at this time of year. So let me tell you what you're going to need. First of all, my blanket is kind of adult-ish size. I was going to make a baby blanket, but alas, there were no babies in my life right as of yet. Nobody's having babies right now. So I've decided to make it kind of a small throw for myself. You know, I could take it out on the porch if I need to, or you know, cover up my legs if I'm sitting watching TV or whatever. So my blanket ended up being 48 squares. That was 6 across and 8 down of this square right here. My individual squares measured about 6.5 inches, and then you added in the joins, and then about a 2-inch border. And again, I just put a very simple border on it. I did not want this to be overly fancy or overly complicated, so that everybody could enjoy making this, even the absolute beginner. You don't be afraid of this at all. It's very, very simple, and I'm going to go step by step through each of the steps in the process and make it very, very friendly for those that have just started. Those of you that have been doing this a while probably have your own version of the Daisy Granny, and you can certainly do that. But I'm so glad that you stopped by to see how I do it, and gonna join me on this little Daisy Meadow adventure. Okay, so the things that you're gonna need for this, I wanted to make it something that was really inexpensive, and it was yarn that I had on hand. Let me scooch this a little. It was yarn that I had on hand, so I used the big twist. And unfortunately, I didn't take my pictures beforehand, so this is the white that I have left, and this is the gold that I have left. But it was really quite simple. It was 2 skeins of the big twist in light green. I had 3 skeins of the white, and then I had 1 skein of the Varsity yellow. Big Twist is a Joann's brand. Get rid of that glare. Joann's, this is their brand. It's their value. I find it is quite soft. Red Heart Super Saver tends to be a little scratchy to me, but it is a wonderful, wonderful yarn, and if that's what you have on hand, please use that. You can use any worsted weight yarn. This Big Twist, you can get it on sale. I believe I got it for $2.50 a skein when they had it on sale, and so that was very cost effective. But it has 380 yards at 6 ounces, or 347 meters, 170 grams on each of these skeins. It recommends a size, let me pull this up. It recommends a size 5mm hook. I did not use that. I believe it was a 5.5, but we'll get to that in a moment. And again, it's a medium weight. I wanted to use colors that were reminiscent of early spring, when the early flowers are starting to pop out. I know daisies aren't usually an early flower, but daffodils, I just didn't want to make a daffodil blanket, but the daisies were just, they're so sweet and fresh, and I just wanted something very simple. I didn't want to have massive amounts of color changes, because, you know, we all dislike weaving in our ends, but there were still enough yarn changes or color changes to go ahead and warrant some pretty steady yarn weaving. I used a, I don't know if you can see that, that's a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I like the Susan Bates, but if you've got a 5.5 or 5.5 millimeter on hand, please feel free to use that. And I also, a pair of snips, a little pair of scissors to snip off your ends. Other things that you'll need, you're going to need a yarn needle. Any type of yarn needle will do. If you've got the plastic ones, those are fine. I tend to break the plastic ones and I got tired of breaking them, so I bought metal. But any kind that you want is fine. Whatever that you have on hand is good. And also use a little tape measure if you've got, they're so loud. If you've got one of these on hand, you can do that so that you can measure your squares as you go along. Again, my squares, and here's one I used as a sample, my squares measure about 6.5 across by 6.5. As you can see, I started out with gold in the middle, or the Varsity yellow is what I used, and then of course my petals were white, and I just decided on one color. I do have a different green, and I thought about doing maybe 3 rows of green. I just opted up again for something very, very simple. Just 2 rows of the green, and then I wanted to do the white because I knew I was going to use yellow to join these together, just to kind of frame out each of these in a pretty bright yellow color. And you can see that they came out really pretty. I used a raised single crochet join. It's very simple for anybody to do. It's very quick, it goes along really fast. And then I finished off, mostly because I had quite a bit of yellow, and I wanted to continue this little frame, this framed look on the outside. So I used the yellow for 2 rows and then 3 rows of the white. So let's get started. And the first thing that we're gonna need to make, obviously, is our squares. So let's get started on that, and I'll see you in just a few moments so I can show you how it's done. So these are the squares we're going to make, and the first thing we're going to do is start with the center. So grab the yarn that you've chosen for your center. Let me grab mine. Okay, and we're going to start by making a magic ring. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn, you're going to wrap it around your fingers, making a little X, and then you'll come just like this, and I hold it with these 2 fingers here to hold it tight, and I'm holding it on the bottom so that I don't lose it. Okay, you're going to take your hook, and with the hook side down, you're going to go under the first loop and grab the second one and pull it through like this. You're going to twist your hand around so that you're making a little bit of a crisscross. Can you see that right there? A little crisscross. Okay, so once you made your little crisscross, you're going to grab this yarn over here, not your loop, but over here. So you've made your crisscross, and you want to go underneath and yarn over, grab that, and pull it through the loop. And that makes your first, sorry about that, that makes your first chain, okay? So you can pull your fingers out now. Hold on to that, and then set your yarn on your hand the way you like it. So that is considered our first chain, and since we're going to start with double crochets, we need to chain 3. So that's 1, yarn over, pull through this loop. That's 2, yarn over, pull through the loop, and that's 3. Okay, now we're going to make our double crochet. To double crochet, you're going to yarn over. We're going to go inside this big loop down here. We're going to grab our yarn, yarning over, and we're going to pull it up, and now you've got 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over again, pull it through 2 loops. Now you have 2 on your hook. You're going to yarn over again and pull it through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet. Let's do this one more time. You want to yarn over, insert into your big loop down here, grab your yarn, and you've got 3 on your hook. All right, so you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now you've got 2 double crochets plus your chain 3 on your working loop here. Okay, that chain 3 does count as a double crochet, and we need to put 12 of them in this loop. Okay, you can use this this part of your loop, magic loop, to pull on to make your loop a little bit smaller. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier to hold on to also. Okay, so coming back up to the top, we need to make 10 more double crochets, because we've got 2 and we need 12 total, so that counts as 1, 2, and 3, and so 9 more in the space. We're going to yarn over again, have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, let's do that again. We're going to yarn over, insert into the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, let's do that again. We're going to yarn over, insert into the big loop, grab your yarn, yarning over, and pulling up your loop. 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. All right, so continue making this around until your count is 12. That is 11 of these double crochets plus your 3 chain turning chain. Okay, we'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I have my 11 double crochets plus my chain 3 turning chain. We're going to give that a little pull to bring everything together. But you always want to make sure that you've got the correct number of stitches so that the rest of the square turns out properly. So even the best of us have to count. And to do that, let's start from this chain here, which is the top of this stitch. This little V is the top of this stitch here. Can you see that? The stitch here and the V. So you want to count your little V's. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this little V right here is the top of your chain 3. So that makes 12. Okay? So let's reinsert our hook into our loop. And what we're going to do is a slip stitch, and we're going to do that into the top of this chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3 on your chain. You just want to stick it right in there. Grab your yarn, pull it through, and you're going to pull it through that loop. Okay, so that's all we need to do for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our yarn and start a new color. So let's chain 1, pull up a nice loop here. Grab your scissors. Okay, you want to pull this yarn all the way through like this. And this little loop here is a little bit loose, so you want to pull it tight and just give it a nice little tug. I use my fingers to kind of pull it down, and that will snug it up for you and it won't come unraveled. Okay, so now that we've gotten our centers done, we want to move along to our petals. So I used white for my petals, so I'm going to grab my white, but whatever color that you decided to make your petals with, grab that color, okay? So the first thing we want to do is we want to put a slip stitch on our hook, okay? So to make a slip stitch, it's just as easy as the magic circle. You're going to wrap it around your fingers, cross it right there, put your finger on the cross. Now I take and I pull this off my fingers again, so I've got that little loop. I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to grab that working yarn, whoopsie, grab it and pull it through. This time I'm going to let go here, and then I'm going to hold my tail and my working yarn. So I've got both of these in my hand. Whoop. And you're just going to give it a pull. And you want to just give this a little pull in order to snug it up on your hook. It does not need to be super tight. It needs to be snug so you can still move your hook freely and also be able to come through that, because you know, if we're making a chain, you would want to be able to come through that. So we do want to just kind of keep it loose, but not super loose. All right. Okay, so here's how we start. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to my knot here, and I'm going to remove my hook. All right. I'm going to pick up my little medallion here, and it doesn't matter where you start. You can start anywhere that you want to. I'm going to start in this first, the very first stitch that we made. So we're going to find this little V right here, and that's the very first stitch we made. And we're going to insert our hook into this first little V here. Okay. We're going to reapply our loop from our slip stitch back on our hook. Okay. So your tail should be on the back, hanging down the back, and your slip stitch should be on your hook, as should your little medallion there. So holding onto the tail, I'm just going to grab that loop and I'm going to pull it through. Just the loop, leave the little knot back there on the back, and just pull the loop up. Then you want to grab your yarn and you're going to pull it through the loop, and that is a slip stitch to get started. You're going to slip stitch this on here. Okay, so in each of these stitches around, we're going to make the petals. And to make these petals, we're going to do a triple crochet or a treble crochet, however you want to say it. And we're going to do 3 together. However, our first one is very different because all we have is the starting chain. So this is considered chain 1, and we need to make 4 with the triple crochet. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that makes 4 for our starting point. And that's, again, that is considered a stitch, and we're going to count it as our first triple crochet. Okay, instead of yarning over once, we're going to yarn over 2 times, 1 and 2. Once you've yarned over 2 times, you're going to insert into that same stitch where you started. You're going to yarn over, grab your yarn, and you're going to pull up a loop. Now you'll have 4 loops on your hook. Okay, so you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now don't complete it because we need to make 1 more and they need to all be stitched together. Okay, so we're going to hold those on our hook. So we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to insert into that same stitch. We're going to grab our yarn and pull it through. So now I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2 again, and now I have 3 on my hook. And this is where I'm going to complete this petal. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through all 3. Now that is considered 3 triple crochets together. Okay, so now I want to chain 2. The first chain is going to lock those stitches in place, and then the second is to create a space, create a space in between each petal. Let's do our second petal. We're going to be working into this stitch right here. So we're going to do triple crochets. Again, we're going to yarn over twice, 1, 2, insert into the stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. You want to pull through 2 and pull through 2 again, just leaving 2 on your hook. All right, you're going to yarn over twice, 1, 2. You're going to insert into that same stitch. You're going to grab your yarn and pull it through. You've now got 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you have 3 loops on your hook. Now this is where it gets a little different from our first petal. The first petal we had a turning chain, so ours only had the 3 loops on there, but we need to make 1 more of these triples in order to complete our petal. Okay, so we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to insert into that same loop, or the same stitch, excuse me. Grab your yarn and pull up a loop. You now have 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops, okay? We're going to chain 1 to close that stitch cluster, and we're going to chain 1 more for a spacer, okay? All right, let's do that one more time. Yarn over twice, go into the next stitch here. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and you're going to stop with 2 loops on your hook, okay? Yarn over twice. You're going to insert back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 5 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you'll be left with 3 on your hook. Okay, 3 loops on your hook. All right, yarn over 2 more times. Place it right back in that stitch, yarn over, pull it up. You'll have 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now you're left with 4 loops on your hook and 3 incomplete treble crochets. So you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops, like so, and chain 1 to close that cluster. Don't forget to chain 1 as a spacer, okay? I'll help you do that one more time, and then I'm going to let you go on your own. All right, so we're going to yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. There's 4 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops, 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over twice, 1, 2, go into that same stitch, grab your yarn and pull it up a loop. You've got 5 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over twice. You're going to insert to that same stitch, grab your yarn and pull it up. You've got 6 on your hook now. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and pull through all 4 to close the cluster, and then you're going to lock it in place with 1 chain. Chain 1 and then 1 more for a spacer. Okay, so you're going to complete that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, I'm coming around to my last stitch. You also want to make sure that you've got 12 petals in all. So starting at the beginning, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm about to put my final 12th one into this stitch. So let's do that one real quick. Yarn over twice, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, go into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull up, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through all 4, and remember to chain twice. One to lock the stitch together and the second one for a spacer. Okay, so to close this off, we want to find the top or where we locked the stitches together, not the chain 4 that we normally will slip stitch into, but the one in where we locked all the stitches together. So in order to do that, you can go up, count up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your starting. This is the top loop of the first triple crochet, and that is your locking chain right there. So we want to insert into the locking chain, grab the yarn, grab the yarn and pull it through, okay? And then pull it through the loop on our hook, chain 1, okay? And so now you are complete with your petals. So you want to snip off your yarn and pull it all the way through. Remember, this little chain that you made may be a little loose, so you want to kind of give it a little tug. Use your fingers to push it down, make it nice and secure. And there you have your daisy. At this point, it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and weave in your ends, especially once you've completed all these petals. It tends to push the stitches apart a little bit, which also reopens your magic ring, which is fine. All you do is you turn it over. You want to grab the yarn that you use to make your magic ring, and you just give it a nice little pull, and that's going to pull everything back together. Of course, if you like that little hole, you can certainly leave it there by weaving in your ends with your hole. The hole will stay, or if you want it tight, like I do mine, then you just pull it tight, and we're gonna weave in our ends. And let me show you how to do that real quick. And then you can do it on your own from here on out. All right, so you want to grab your needle. You want to take and put your end in there. Get it all threaded up. Okay, leave a little bit of a tail. Okay, so the yarn is going around this way, and it's coming out in that direction. This piece of yarn is coming out. So what you want to do is you want to go the opposite way. You don't want to go into this stitch here, because then you'll just be pulling your yarn back out. You want to go over that stitch. And I usually will start right here, and then I'm going to insert the hook up under some of these stitches right in that direction. I want to go one direction. Okay, and I'm going to give it a little pull, not too tight, because you don't want to pull this stitch out of place, this double crochet. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to keep going in the same direction. This is the starting. I want to make sure that my ring stays nice and tight. So I'm going to keep going in that direction up under these stitches, and I'm being careful not to go all the way through to the other side. If we had different color yarns and you went through the other side, you would be able to see that, and it wouldn't look as pleasing. All right, and give that a nice little tug. Okay, you can see my ring is still nice and snug, but you can still give it a little pull if you'd like. Okay, all right, so now we want to turn around and go back the other direction. So I'm going to catch another piece of yarn, maybe this one back here. I'm going to go up under it, okay? And I'm going to go up under 3 or 4 or 5 different stitches. Come out. Oops. As you can see, it's going to pull it, gently pull it, so you don't pucker anything. And I'm going to just keep going in that same direction. Just a little extra security, okay? And pull it there, okay? All right, and give it a nice little snug. Okay, at this point, it's pretty much locked in place. You don't have to do anything else to it. You want to snip it. You want to get close to your work, but be careful not to snip the stitches that you have made, or you'll have a little snag starting there. Okay. Let's grab this second piece of yellow here. And this one we're going to do a little bit differently. We don't want to weave it up underneath these white stitches, because you may be able to see it, and you'll see the little line going around. It's not very nice looking. So we want to actually go back into our yellow stitches. So let's load up our needle. All right, so we're going to, we want to work our way downward. So I'm going to grab this piece of yarn and this piece of yarn, and you just want to kind of go back and forth downward, and you can go into this center portion if you'd like. Okay, give it a pull. Again, not too tight. You don't want to move any of these others out of place by pulling it too tight. All right, so now we need to go back up the other direction. So I'm going to go move over. Here's my working yarn. I'm going to move over and grab a different stitch, and I'm going to go back underneath those stitches, 3 or 4 of them, back in this direction, okay? And then I'm going to do it one more time for good measure. Again, here's where my stitch is coming out. I don't want to go back in that same spot. So I just move over and grab something else and then go back through those same stitches a third time. And if you can feel yourself pushing through this thickness here, then that's a good thing too, because you're going into other stitches and that helps it become more secure. I usually give mine a little tug back and forth just to kind of lay everything back down, make sure everything's nice and straight. Okay, we want to cut off. So let's weave these in and then we'll get started on our next round. Okay, you can certainly go through these stitches here. It's nice and easy. Just again, you want to go through 3 or 4 or 5 of these stitches. I can feel that I'm going into that ring of yellow that's up underneath that you can't see, and I'm also making sure I'm not coming through this front side. Okay, so push it through there, give it a little tug, not too tight, just enough to kind of close it together. All right, we're going to go back through those stitches. So here's where my stitch is coming out. I'm going to grab this one right behind it here. Can you see where I got that? Okay, and I'm just going to stick it through a bunch of these stitches yet again. Okay. Again, you want to make sure that you're not going through the other side. With the white, it's not that big of a deal because the petals are white, but you do want to make that a habit of not ever going through to the other side. Okay, and then you want to grab it one more time and go back through several of these stitches again. Okay. All right, let's cut that off. Remember, be careful not to cut your stitches. And this one here, we're going to wait and weave this one in till after we do our green section. Okay, so we're going to do round number 3. And this is where we're going to turn a circle into a square. I'll show you the other one. You see the circle here, and then this round of the green is going to turn this circle into a square so that we finish with a square. You want to grab the color that you chose for this round. I'm using the green, but you certainly can use any color that you want. So the first thing you're going to do is a slip knot. Put a slip knot on your hook and snug it down. Okay. Not too snug, and you want to hold on to it and remove your hook. You're going to insert into any of these chain 1 spaces. It doesn't matter where you insert it, you just anywhere that you'd like, okay? So you're going to insert your hook. You're going to replace your slip knot back on your hook right here. And I hold on to the tail back behind. It just gives me a little bit to tug on. And you're going to pull that loop through. You're going to yarn over and pull through that loop to make a slip knot. All right, so we're going to be making a corner. So our first space is going to be a corner, and a corner consists of 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Okay, we've already started with our 1 chain, so we're going to chain 2 more. 1 and 2. And that chain 3, 1, 2, 3, counts as your first double crochet. Okay, so we're going to yarn over our hook 1 time, insert into the space, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Scooch it over if you need to. Do it again. We're going to yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now you have 3. That first starting chain is considered your first double crochet, so that's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we're going to put 3 more double crochets into that space. So yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Whoops. And one more time, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so now you've made your first corner. So in order to make this side flat, we don't want to use double crochets again, because as this rounds around, if we use the same height stitch here, it would just continue the roundness, and we don't want to do that. So we need to make the stitches a little bit smaller. So we're going to use half double crochets. Okay, they're made very similar to the double crochet, just a little bit different. Okay, let's get started. We are going to yarn over, and we're going to go into this very next chain 1 space. You're going to insert your hook into the space, grab your yarn, and pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, and at this point we want to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, let's do that again. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, let's scooch it over a little bit. We're going to make 1 more. Again, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so now you have 3 half double crochets in this chain 1 space. We need to do that again in this chain 1 space, because this is still part of our side of our block. Okay, so starting right here, you're going to yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, go into the space, pull up a loop, go through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and go through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so now you've got your corner and 2 clusters on your side, and we're going to be making another corner right here into this chain 1 space. We're going to yarn over, insert into the next space, grab your yarn and pull up a loop. We're making double crochets. So pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, we need to make 2 more of those for a grouping of 3. So yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops on your hook, pull through 2 loops. 1 more, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2 loops on your hook, and the final 2 loops. Now you have 3 double crochets. All right, so now we're going to make our chain 2 for our corner. 1, 2, and we're going to put 3 more double crochets into this same space. Yarn over into the space, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Sometimes you got to scooch them a little. All right, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops on your hook, pull through 2 loops. And one more time, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2, pull through 2. All right, so now that was our second corner, and we need to do another side. So we'll be working in these 2 spaces, and we're going to do half double crochets into this space. So we want to put 3 half double crochets into this space. So yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on our hook. All right, let's do 2 more. Yarn over, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, that's 3 half double crochets. We want to put 3 into this space here. So yarn over, got 3 on your hook, pull through all 3, yarn over, got 3 on your hook, pull through all 3. And the very last one, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all loops on your hook. Okay, there's your second side is complete, and now we're going to make another corner. And just to remind you, a corner is three double crochets, 1, 2, 3, a chain 2 space, and 3 double crochets, followed by 3 half double crochets into 2 spaces to complete this side, another corner, and then your half double crochets into these 2 spaces to complete this side. So I'm going to let you work on your own at this point, and I'll meet you when we get here. Okay, so we are about to close our round. What we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So that's 1, 2, 3. There's your 3rd chain. You want to insert into the top of that chain. You want to grab your yarn and pull it through, and then pull it through the loop that was on your hook. What we need to do is we need to move ourselves to this space here, okay? So to do that, we're going to slip stitch into this stitch here. So we're going to insert underneath, right like that. You see it's got the V on top of the hook. You're going to grab your yarn and pull it through, then pull it through the loop, and then you're going to insert your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn, pull it up, and then pull it through, okay? So now you have slip stitched yourself to the corner. All right, so in the corner we're going to repeat, and we're going to do 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets, but we need to make our height, so we need to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, all right. Yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do that again, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. All right, this chain of 3 counts as your first double crochet, and you've got 2 more, so there's your group of 3. You want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you want to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, insert into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now on the row below we did half double crochets in order to make this side straight. With this row, because the row is already straight, we want these stitches on this side to be the same height as these stitches here. So we're going to continue into these 3 spaces. We're going to continue and make double crochets again, not half double crochets like here, but double crochets. Okay, so find our next space, which is here. We're going to yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got 3 double crochets in this space. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets in this space. Yarn over, find your space. You can just put your finger there. Okay, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops on your hook, pull through 2 loops on your hook. Okay, yarn over, insert into the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 on your hook, pull through 2. One more time, yarn over again, pull up 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And one last time into this space here, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, now we're back at our corner. So we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets into this space. Okay? It's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that completes our corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets into this space here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 double crochets into this next space. 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochets into this space. 1, 2, 3. And now we're at our next corner. And our corners are 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. I'm going to let you finish this corner and these next 2 sides, and I'll meet you over here at the end. All right, so now we're at the end of our round and we need to close this one off. So we want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of our starting chain. So there's 1, 2, 3. Going to insert into the top of that, grab our yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to snip our yarn and give it a little. I'm going to be changing over to the white, so give me just a moment for that. All right, so make our slip stitch again. Okay, give it a little pull and remove it from your hook. We can go to any corner that you want to start with. It doesn't really matter. I'll just start with this one. You want to insert your hook, replace your slip stitch onto your hook, drop the working end, and I kind of hold on to it with my finger so that it doesn't just pull all the way through. And I'm going to pull just the loop through. I'm going to grab the yarn and make my first chain. Okay. All right, so we're going to be repeating row number 4, just in a different color. So we need to make the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in this corner space. Okay. So since this is the beginning, we're going to need to chain 3. We've got 1, 2, 3. There's your chain 3. Yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This chain counts as your first double crochet, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Give it a little scooch. Chain 2, yarn over, grab your yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. And there's your first corner. Okay, so all you need to do now is to complete this all the way around. We're going to work it just like we worked our 4th row, 3 double crochets and chain 2, 3 double crochets into the corners, and 3 double crochets into each of these spaces along. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces on each side, and then you'll be at a corner, chain, I'm sorry, not chain, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets in the corners. Okay, and we'll meet you around when we get back to the end. Okay, so I am coming up on my last space here. So we're going to make our 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to attach to this chain 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Insert into the top. Grab your yarn, pull it through that loop, and chain 1. Okay, so now you can snip that off, and your square is complete. I will join you in the next video to teach you how to put all these squares together and put a nice little border on the outside.